Growing your business as an outdoor living contractor using Facebook slash Instagram ads is actually so easy. It's not even funny. And to you, that might sound just like a marketing gimmick, like some exaggerated claim, like a scam, whatever. But I'm going to tell you that from my experience of running ads in some of the most saturated markets, selling info products and coaching services, where the whole planet is literally your market. And sometimes you are competing against hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are all running ads at the same time. Getting results as a contractor, as a local business, is actually so incredibly easy compared to that other stuff that I used to do and generate and still generated over 2,500 sales there. Like it's so easy, it's not even funny. And I actually had a conversation about this with a friend, and we talked about just how incredibly simple it actually is. And the reason people fail, contractors and agencies alike, when it comes to advertising locally and stuff and getting results, really comes down to just really basic stuff. Like, honestly, it's oftentimes the absolute fundamentals that people get wrong, and thus they can't get any results at all. But if you get the basics right, then you could get better results than the vast majority of people. Like, and I'm going to walk through it in this video, okay? But before touching on that, I actually wanted to talk about why Facebook and Instagram, they both fall under the same umbrella of Meta, why it's actually the superior platform for advertising. And so a lot of contractors, for example, they try like Angie, they try like Home Advisor, and they try just many different random sort of websites or platforms to like get leads and stuff. And they often find that this type of stuff literally gets absolutely zero results. And the reason is because oftentimes the leads on this platform, on these platforms, are like shared and usually very low quality, etc. And you might say that, well, my Facebook ad leads are super low quality as well. And I'm going to explain that because again, it just comes down to the absolute basics. But Facebook and Instagram has something that like none of these other platforms have, which is an extremely good algorithm. Like Facebook has so much data on like your ideal clients and literally everyone who is on the platform. Like they know more about you than your family does about you. They know absolutely everything. And the honestly the only good thing about Facebook is the actual algorithm. Like I hate almost everything else with Facebook, but since it has a good algorithm, it's just superior because the machine, the algorithm knows exactly where your ideal clients are. Like the distribution of the ads is amazing. Honestly, everything else kind of sucks. Like I am the sort of biggest Facebook ads hater. Like, but I can't begin to explain just how superior the algorithm actually is, right? At finding the best buyers, etc. You and this is why I only really do Facebook and Instagram ads. Even though I hate so many aspects of it, it's just the best platform to get results on when it comes to ads, right? So that's actually why it's sort of the superior platform. But the reasons why people just don't get results is again, it really just comes down to the basics. And so honestly, the first basic is really the actual campaign structure itself. So we'll just call this CS. It's the actual campaign structure. So what a lot of people will do is that they will set up a campaign and they just select the completely wrong like campaign goal. And so when you build a campaign inside of Facebook, right? Facebook will ask you like, okay, what is your conversion goal? Like, what are you looking to get out of this? And then you can choose like engagement, traffic, leads, whatever, right? Brand awareness. And what some people do, and this is actually pretty common, is that they pick like brand awareness, they pick things like engagement, they pick, I don't know, traffic probably also, but they pick these types of objectives that are completely useless and you should literally never do them ever because you will get absolutely zero results. And it goes back to the algorithm, how it optimizes. Since it knows everything about everyone, they know who's a buyer, who's not a buyer, who just engages, who actually buys, etc. And so when you um, pick like brand awareness, engagement, or traffic, that's literally what you will get. You will get clicks, you will get traffic, but you will get no serious buyers or any like highly qualified leads at all. Like I see some people sometimes they set up like one or two ads, they do brand awareness and they put in like $1 to $5 a day, and they're like, yeah, well, this is gonna make sure that people see me. It builds these touch points, etc. They're gonna trust me. It does not work at all, like at all, and it's because of these of exactly what I just described, how the campaign goal will be exactly what you get. Like none of the brand awareness stuff will literally turn into anything unless you are already like a billion-dollar company, right? Coke or McDonald's, they can do whatever with their advertising, spend $1 million on brand awareness because they're McDonald's. People already know them though, they just staying top of mind. But if you're a local business like contractor and you're going to try to run like brand awareness ads and you like hope that it's going to result in something in the future, it won't at all. Okay, so just never do that type of stuff. The only campaign goal that you should have, and you should never deviate from this under literally any circumstances, is lead or purchase, right? Most likely it will just be lead because you're not driving people to, for example, a sales page where they buy something immediately on a page. It will most likely just be lead, right? This is what you should do. I don't care what anyone tells you. If you want to get results, if you actually want to get an ROI, just do lead. And you might say, well, my, my Instagram page or Facebook page isn't like set up properly. I don't have that many followers. I need to get more likes, etc. And again, that's also something that is super overrated. I've launched a campaign, a Facebook campaign, with literally no followers at all, like nothing on the Facebook page except maybe one post, and I've generated sales from complete like advertising to complete strangers, right? It's very overrated to say that you need all of these likes and these followers to get results. The truth is that your marketing can build all the trust that you actually need. You don't need to run ads to get likes or whatever. Like, sure, maybe having a few hundred followers and actually showing that you're a real business, like having posts and being active on there, can help, right? But it's not going to be the end all be all. Okay. So, campaign goal just leads, right? Now, the second big mistake that people make, and this is also just a really basic one, is they don't have a pixel installed on the website or whatever page that they're driving the traffic to. If they're driving people somewhere outside of the Facebook platform, they drive people to a place that don't have a pixel installed. This is one of the main reasons why people advertise and they have no idea if it's getting any results at all. And this is actually more common than I initially thought because Facebook has given us the tools in order to actually track stuff and know if it's getting results, but people sort of just skip it. And this is usually the case when contractors try to run ads like themselves because they usually aren't marketers, right? But if you don't know what a pixel is, it's basically this little code that you would put on your website that allows Facebook to track whatever is going on here. And so it allows Facebook to see who is visiting the website, like what type of person it is, the actions they take on the website, if they're opting in or not, etc. And so you will be able then to see the actual data of how many leads you're getting, the cost per lead, all of that type of stuff, right? That's very important to know if you want to run ads. But on top of that, the pixel will send this data back to Facebook, and the data will then allow Facebook to better optimize your ads. In other words, just find better people. But if you don't have a pixel installed, then Facebook can't do none of those things. And you're basically just advertising literally completely blind. Like Facebook has nothing to go off of. And it's just like showing your ads to whoever, not the good people, literally like just whoever. And so you get zero results at all. Even if your ads are great, you get no results. Like, sure, you may actually get some leads or, people opting in, but you can't track it at all. And the ad performance will always just be super low simply because Facebook can't optimize the ads, right? And I've even seen contractors who like have a marketing manager and they don't even get this right. And this is like the step zero of Facebook ads. Like, again, I can understand that you may not know about this if you aren't like a marketer or you don't really have a lot of experience with Facebook ads. But if you have someone managing the ads for you, if you have a marketing manager, like, they should, in 100% of cases, with zero exceptions, know what a pixel is and be able to install it. Zero exceptions. Because this is the absolute basics that if you don't do this right, then nothing will work at all. And yet, this is so common that people don't, it's so common that people don't have a pixel, right? So, next thing is people simply don't spend enough money. Okay. Oh, that was a spelling mistake. People just don't spend enough money. Some people will like launch one ad and spend like $5 a day, and you'll get really no results at all. And the reason is because it'll probably generate you like one lead every 2 weeks, maybe, depending on the cost. Yeah, one lead every like 2 weeks, depending on like your ticket size, etc. If you are, an outdoor living contractor and you do high end projects like the $50,000, $75,000 plus projects, then launching an ad for like $5, $10 a day is going to give you like no results at all because there aren't enough people actually in the market for you to get a cost per lead for like $10. There's just not. Like, you are limited, and the people who can afford to build such an outdoor space is also very limited, right? That doesn't mean that you can't get them or that you can't make ads insanely profitable. It just means that if you want to attract those people, then I mean your cost per lead, at least cost per, let's say, qualified lead, might be over like $100, right? And so if you're gonna spend like $10 a day, like, you're gonna get nothing, like, at all. But on top of that, since Facebook is a data machine, if you're spending too little money, if you have a very small budget, then Facebook won't get enough data back to it in order to optimize the ads. Again, it sort of goes back to the pixel again. The way I explained how Facebook uses the data to optimize the ads. The same thing goes here, right? If you have a very small budget, then your ads aren't getting shown to any people really at all. And so Facebook gets very little data, can't optimize the ads. And so having just a small budget, it's just not really going to give any results. Like, you would, like, recommended you spend like at least $50 a day. Like, if you can't spend $50 a day, I mean, just don't do Facebook ads. But I mean, you should be able to, unless you have like literally no money in your account, because especially with these things that I'm talking about here, like, if you can do these basics and spend $50 a day, like, you're gonna get some results, right? You're just gonna get some results. And Facebook, and $50 is still very small actually, but at least $50, right? Preferably you can spend more than like $100. Okay. This will allow you to get some good results. If you're doing very high end stuff, then you can get, 1 to 2 leads per day on this that are actually like qualified. And so that would be like 30 to 60 leads a month. That is actually something more like substantial and can allow you to close, 1 to 3 extra projects per month, depending on, sales process, speed to lead, all of those things, right? But it's actually like decent results. It's actually like growing your business. But if you're spending, $10 a day, I mean, you're probably not even going to have the campaign up long enough to get a single lead. And so sometimes people will launch an ad for and not really spend anything. They have a budget below $50 and they're like, well, ads don't work because I didn't get any results. Where it's like, well, you really didn't spend any money at all, right? If you spent, $100 a day for, 10 days, you will probably see just way more results. You will actually see something going. And so budget is also important. And the fourth mistake here that I see people make is that they just don't have really enough ads at all. A lot of them have, for example, one to maybe five ads, and that's basically it. And they have them up and running for like months without creating any new ads, without seemingly like really managing the ads in terms of like distributing budget, turning off what doesn't work and doubling down on what works. They're sort of just launching the ads and just letting them run, right? But when you have just a few amount of ads, especially with the distribution updates, which was Andromeda. And I mean the distribution updates in terms of like how Facebook distributes your ads. I'm not talking about budget or anything. It's about how Facebook distributes your ads. This was an update that rolled in, late 2025. I made a whole video about this, so I'm not going to go over it here. But the essence of this update is that you basically need a whole lot more ads than you used to before. And that means that you can't rely on just having like five ads or something like that, just letting them roll and not really creating any new ones, or, for example, not managing them properly. Like, you need to be consistently testing new ads. You need to be managing them every single day. You need to be coming up with new angles, doubling down on what works, turning off what doesn't work, etc. If you launch five ads, right, and let's say it's your first five that you do launch, oftentimes only like one ad will perform like decently. And so consistently testing new ads, manage them, is really important too, which is not something that a lot of people do, even agencies, even marketing managers, etc. Right? But these are very important. And so those are basically the four basics that you need to know if you're going to run ads and if you're going to run them successfully. If you just do these basics, then you will probably outperform the vast majority of people in your market. And if you just want help with this, if you just want me to do your ads for you, then you can book a call by clicking the link below. Have an amazing day.